Everybody, welcome to Other Side Wrestling, where we talk about wrestling, old school, new school, fun stuff. I'd rather stay in the old school because the new stuff is boring. But before all that, I want to talk about what I'm excited about more than wrestling, is Motley Crue documentary. It's going to be on Netflix in March. This is my favorite band, brother. I'm talking about girls, walking on the wild side. It is going to be amazing. You're going to want to check that out in March.
Hey,
we're talking about...
No.
I thought I could get through the show without you showing up.
No, see, that's why the producers wanted me to be on this show, because they knew you'd get scatterbrained and you'd start talking about your 80s nostalgia, and just the fact of listening to your voice for 10 minutes, it's too much for anybody. It's like the Cookie Monster trying to clear his throat. So they said, hey, Victor, why don't you come down, add a little bit of class, talk about real wrestling.
Class? Bruh, I'm a champion.
Yeah.
Won the title at the Metroplex Theater.
Exactly, you're a champion.
Let's talk about...
You're a champion until I take that belt off of you.
Never gonna happen.
That's neither here nor there.
I'm headed to Colorado to get another belt. We'll talk about that later. But let's talk about Elimination Chamber, Raw, SmackDown. It all went down. What were your thoughts and feelings on where the WWE is going today?
Well, Elimination Chamber was an up-down pay-per-view. Raw and SmackDown following it. They were both kind of weak, but we got some good things coming out of it. The Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, that's definitely the talking point. Gonna be the main event at Wrestlemania, most likely. And it's gonna be a good match.
Speaking of Becky Lynch, I realized watching Becky Lynch, who, she's a rock star, she's a Rath fan, just ask her, she loves Rath. But I just want to say, why does Vince McMahon even pay for security? Here comes a lady with crutches, walks right by the security, and just opens up a full case of whoop-ass on all the women in the ring.
Yeah, that's true. And, speaking of that full case of whoop-ass, Ronda, I like you a lot, but as a real fighter, when someone's swinging a metal object at you, cover your fucking head. But kudos to you for getting back in the ring on Monday and having the match you should have had with Ruby Riott. So at least there was that. But speaking of the women, with the women's tag team champions. First tag team champions crown Elimination Chamber. That was one of the highlights of the pay-per-view. Some people I saw complaining they wanted a real team to win it. Give me a break. Sasha and Bayley
are a real team.
They've been working together
also
since the last Elimination Chamber. Now, they did drop the ball on that feud. They never pulled the trigger on it, but I was happy to see them win it. Nia Jax and Tamina looking like they're going to be their first obstacle. That's a good team to work with. Personally, I wanted to see the Iconics in that role because they're the best. They're two of the best heels that the women's division's got going on right now, and I think they'd be good foils for those two. But then there's Asuka, also known as the red-headed stepchild of the women's division.
How this happened, I will never know.
This character, I just don't understand. She starts to make her re-emergence at Survivor Series. She puts on a good show in there. She wins the women's title in somewhat controversial fashion with the assists from Ronda Rousey, but that was cool because that allowed them to set up the rematch with Becky Lynch. Now at the Royal Rumble, she not only goes toe-to-toe with Becky, she makes her tap out. Then she's not on TV for a month, returns, and loses to Mandy fucking Rose? I don't get it. Yeah. I really don't understand it. Maybe it's so they can feed her to her at Fastlane, but I really think the SmackDown Women's title is just kind of off to the side right now. Asuka's just holding it so those three, Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda, can do their thing. And anyone who thinks it's gonna be a one-on-one match between Charlotte and Ronda, you're fucking high. Becky's getting in that match.
Crutches and all, bro.
Yeah.
Now going down to the Elimination Chamber, because most of the other pay-per-view I was not a big fan of.
Not really.
The Elimination Chamber was the bomb daddy, and I want to tell you something. Kofi Kingston stole the show.
He really did. He really did. That match was so good, I thought it was a retirement match. They really made Kofi look good going in. He looked good in the match. And then on SmackDown following, he pins Daniel Bryan again. That's 2 for Kofi, 1 for Bryant. They're going to face each other at Fastlane. I don't think Kofi's going to win. But I didn't think he was going to win Elimination Chamber. And there was a couple times I thought, shit, he might pull it out. So anyway, good for the 11-year guy.
So women's wrestling's still huge. The ladies are over big time.
They are.
But the men still kind of floundering a little bit.
Yeah, you got Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley doing their thing, which I don't know if that'll go down at Fastlane or if they'll try to drag that out to WrestleMania.
And Bobby Lashley, I mean, he has got to be frustrated at this point. Get the Intercontinental Championship for a cup of coffee, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, they can say, oh, well, Finn hasn't really beat Bobby yet because he keeps pinning his hype man. But yeah, Bobby's got to be frustrated. I have no idea why they brought him back in the first place. He should be a monster, just like Drew McIntyre, who could really be the next legitimate monster heel. Instead, they got them both palling around with that charisma vacuum, Baron Corbin, who dresses like the creepy grocery store clerk that's gonna follow you home and turn you into a lamp inside his creepy fucking apartment. I really don't understand that trio at all.
Either.
And Braun Strowman, what the fuck?
A year ago, this is a guy we thought was going to headline WrestleMania 35, take on Brock Lesnar, and now no one's talking about him.
Yeah, no, it's
And Seth Rollins, the last time we saw him in the ring with Brock Lesnar, he was getting his ass handed to him. He didn't look like he's going to be the fighting champion I thought he was going to be. I don't know. You could try to burn it down, but I think you're going to get burnt down, bruh.
Yeah, I going into WrestleMania, that match will happen. Seth Rollins definitely the biggest babyface they got right now. Although, hearing the reaction Kofi Kingston
He already
got,
took 5 F5s.
who knows?
6.
Yeah, he kept going, though. He'll probably win the title at WrestleMania, and Brock will go off and do what the fuck ever.
He ain't going to be able to burn a match when Brock's done with him. So we're headed into Fastlane. We got Shane McMahon
Yeah.
and The Miz take on the Usos. I'm saying Shane McMahon and The Miz recapture the belt. And the Usos, they're done.
That's a possibility, but considering that, you can break the law and win the tag team championships, within the same, couple of weeks span, I think the Usos are going to win. They'll probably transition into some feud with Miz and Shane. I was kind of hoping they'd do something else with the Miz, but...
No way. Miz and Shane are brothers for life. Take it from Rath. I got the inside source. They are for life.
Okay,
so moving on to the championship, I'm predicting Daniel Bryan's going to walk away with that too.
Yeah, he's probably going to walk away with it. It'd be great to see Kofi win, do a rematch at WrestleMania because Daniel's needing of an opponent with some momentum behind him, and they really don't have anybody else right now other than AJ. Maybe Mustafa Ali if he's cleared to compete in time, but with his injury, he hasn't had any time to build up any steam, so that title's in trouble. I'd like to see Kofi win. He probably isn't going to. I do wonder if Luke Harper's going to return, get involved in that match, because I like this direction of the new Wyatt family that Daniel Bryan could put together. Except they just eat tree bark and hemp and whatever the hell else.
Go green for life.
Yeah, well, I guess.
That's about all we got right now from the WWE. You got anything else, Vincent?
No, nothing really else. Hoping Fastlane builds more momentum going into WrestleMania, and apparently, DX is getting into the Hall of Fame though. That's huge news.
No, that doesn't really interest me at all. I can think of a whole bunch of other groups that did a group better than the DX. Besides crotch chops and sophomore pranks, DX ain't got nothing.
All right, we'll
talk about that another time. One of the greatest groups would have to be my favorite, bro, and that would be the NWO, because Hulk Hogan is still the wrestling god. This is Rath.
I'm Victor Crow.
Other Side Wrestling, we're out.